Ladies and gentlemen, this is Manoj Atri. I think so. We are almost close to 7 p.m. Welcome to all, and thank you again for joining us today evening on our regular webinar Mondays. We have our expert Faisal Garcia on standby, and we have fixed up some of his Skype and audio issues. I hope to get his information right there, whatever his expertise, know-how that he's wanting to share with us, and that is where we are today. So let's get into our at this moment. I think so we should be able to get started. He's also there. So let's go through the day agenda. Again, thank you very much for joining. Let's start with our first format. What are we doing today? Again, as in our previous webinars, I start with the monologue. That is my real estate monologue, and it pays to own is the title for this time. In my previous webinars, this is what we started with the format. Okay, like people are making more money in real estate than with their incomes. Last time again, we are remaining on the same format, and last time again walked you through between renting and buying. Now we are going into a further detail when I says it pays to own. That means last time we explained it to you that it is better to start owning instead of renting. And in one of that particular format, I was explaining it to you that there is an appreciation value attached to the property which negates the renting that you are doing every year. So this particular monologue is getting into the detail of that particular one. It pays to own. Now when we say there is an appreciation, so now we are going into the detail part of it. Okay, like how much is it there? I mean, are we just listening to the market or anyone saying into it, or checking it out ourselves whether it is making sense or not? I mean, are we following on the right path or not? So that is what we are going to do with the real estate monologue, it pays to own. Okay, next we will be doing, this has been our bêta, and we have managed to finally get a few things resolved here. And that is the live interview with the credit expert. We have the credit expert there. We had him last week also, but again we missed out on his voice, and we could hear him, but the live streaming did not go well. So we are here with him today. I'll again give you a small brief about the credit repair that's going on, and why that is very important, and we'll take his expertise on that one, and we will repeat the last format, which we couldn't do it properly last time. The next that we are going to do is, now this is again a burning format. We will give you we'll walk you through the rest of the stuff, then people get stuck up exactly in the end what are they actually paying for. And now I discussed that particular one last time, but this time I'm going to show an example and give you the numbers, so you have much more clear ideas about where things are. So we'll be going through a property purchase fees example there. The next one, and that is our main program, if we have enough sufficient time for today, we'll cover the rent to own program detail, and probably within like this webinar or the next webinar, I think so we would have had covered this program completely. So that's the agenda for the day. And now let's start with the main format. It pays to own. So I'm going to go into the detail as I have elaborated on this one. Last time I walked you through, it is better to purchase than to rent. So when I had told you that particular part, I'm taking it a step further and checking it out at this particular moment, that what exactly is the detail there. So I'll be going through 5-6 articles. All those article links are under your live streaming channel. So once you go on the main website on the live streaming, and you will show more, all the links that I am discussing that are already written there. So in case if you want to follow me along on that one, you can have a look at it. But you will have those ones for your next time onwards also. Okay, so now let me take you to the main format, and that would be the Google. So let me get the first article opened up. I'll go briefly and very fast on these particular articles, just touching upon some of the points, and so that you can understand what exactly is he wanting to explain. So here now we are on with our first article, and the article says, let me get there. The GTA fall market has arrived with sales up across all property types. So that's what we are like. We've already told you. Let's say suppose you're purchasing a property. Now, is it the right time to purchase? Are we going into the right format? And that is when I am showing you these particular articles, which is like dated September 19. Sales up across all property types. So in the GTA, we are, in case if you're purchasing now, it is headed in the right direction. There are sales, and they are all property types, whether it's a condo, whether it is a detached house, whether it's a semi-detached, whether it's a townhouse, they're all there. Now let's dwell further. It says detached houses sales were up 9% in the past 2 weeks of the month in the GTA. Condo sales were up 8%, semi-detached were up around 5%. So those are the numbers, and these are the numbers for September mid-month sales numbers as per Zoocasa, one of the leading websites there. And in case if you see further, these are the home sales. The detached houses are up by 9%. Semi-detached ones are up by 5%. Condo apartments up by around 8%. And condo townhouses up by 6%. So when we say it is better to buy instead of renting, we are just double checking. We are just making sure we're not getting into a wrong format, and that is where things are. And you can read more about all these particular ones, how many new listings are there, what's the sales to new listings ratio. But the trend is, the main thing is to understand is the trend, and the trend is that we are doing fine on this one. Okay, next article, let's see if I can get you on this particular fast enough. Yeah, it has come over. I think so. We may have lost Faisal on Skype, but I'll try to get him shortly there once he is there. Okay. Some of the charts which are saying Toronto home sales are on the rise. There are like September 19th article by leading paperwork. These are Toronto home sales are on the rise. And Toronto home sales continue outposts, and they are comparing the two cities, the Toronto and Vancouver. And the information that is reaching here is Toronto home sales are continuing to outpace the Vancouver market. these are some of the information that we are reading constantly. Toronto sales have risen for 3 consecutive months. GTA market has had longer to adjust to the effects of foreign buyer tax. So those are the reasons, some of the reasons that they are giving us, and that is why. There's a possible correlation between home sales and employment. And this is the next information we have is Vancouver employment has been on the decline for months, while Toronto numbers have remained relatively flat. So we are like, and that's what they are giving us, the correlation between the home sales and employment, because the employment has remained fairly stats. So that's why home purchasing is still standing its ground. Household incomes are often tied to home buying activity, with buyers being more likely to enter the market when they feel that their income is secure. Very true. The main thing here is people are comfortable in their income, they are comfortable in their job, and so the next phase goes is they secure properties accordingly. Population growth also has a role to play. So there was some study on this one, and they say that the province pricey housing market could be deterring interprovincial migration affecting home sales number. So some of the differences between various cities are on display here. So just go through this and you'll be able to get into more details and understand, like in case if you're purchasing in Toronto and the GTA, you are not making a mistake. Let's have a look at the next article. Now, I wanted to, I was going through this particular article a few days ago, and it had some concerns there. The trade dispute concerns were there, which have been resolved last night. So basically now NAFTA has been replaced by US, Mexico and Canada, USMCA, and these fears should die down. But otherwise, these fears were there that 1 in 3 Canadian home builders were very concerned about the impact of the trading dispute. So I'm giving you a picture from all angles, just not from one angle. And this was the concern for the builders. Roughly 1 in 3 developers view cross-border trade policy as having a negative impact on their industry, according to a new report. The developers are also having to manage in uncertainty about tariffs and potential cost escalation when it comes to material. So they were fearing those things. And I think so those fears have been like slightly on the decline, because last night NAFTA, the new format of NAFTA as USMCA has been signed up. So these fears should be quelled. Other concern listed in the report: up to 65% of developers report facing challenges with labor shortages, while 60% are concerned about the development approval process, which was very complex and protracted. And so there were concerns on these ones. But I think so we all should be going fine with this one, and because of the signing of this, addressing the NAFTA concerns there. The next article which I had been reviewing was Greater Toronto Area seizes higher demand for detached homes. But obvious, I mean, from the past few years, we are all seeing this particular one, so it's not, does not come as a surprise. Higher demand for detached houses, and this is the main thing here is between 600 and 900 is the it appears that the first-time buyers of single detached homes in the 600 to 900 range are leading the charge. So no doubt about it, we have been figuring that out for a certain period of time. So that's the bottom line here is, in case if by chance you are purchasing a property, you will not be making a mistake. There is a demand. There is a strong demand that's going on. Now let me pick it up from the rental format of it. Now at a certain stage, when we are able to see and comprehend that the getting a property as a rental is not easy. So that means if by chance you purchase a property and you become a landlord and you are now wanting to rent out a portion of the property, it should be easy for you because there is a demand. So that is the gist on this particular one, and that is why I wanted to go through this particular one. Give me 1 second, let me see if I can. Canada's cheapest and most expensive cities to reign in, and some of the things are like neither city, Toronto and Vancouver, is an easy place in which to buy a home. And this was the most important one which I am reading at various places is, Toronto today is seeing its worst affordability level since 1990. That's the fact that's coming into the market. So if you are procuring, you can go through the sum of the rental charts here, and trying to understand here is that the rental market has become very, very unaffordable. So if you pick it up as a landlord, and if you're trying to now have people to rent out your place, it should be easy because there is a tremendous demand. Let me go through, I think so this would be my, yes, this was an interesting article which I was amazed to read, and this is also one of the another realities that is going on, and that reality is that Microsoft is probably moving to Toronto and the GTA area. So let's have a look at this particular one. This one was a Toronto tech boom will keep real estate frenzy going, and that's a forecast. So a few things that you have to, a new phenomenon is about to take over as the driver of Toronto housing boom, and that is the tech industry. Very important. From 2012 to 2017, the region added some 82,000 jobs in technology, more than Silicon Valley and the most of any North American city. So we are going to see an influx of people here, and downtown core is, I mean, I know the rentals in the downtown core in Toronto are crazy. And in Toronto, it's about to intensify. That's what it is, where it is going. Microsoft last month announced plans for a new Canadian headquarters in Toronto core. And Intel earlier this month announced a new graphics chip engineering plant in North York. So the tech sector is also coming this side. And have a read at this particular article. Again, all these links are in the live streaming. Whenever you're seeing wherever you're seeing the video, at the bottom you will have the links for within show more, and all these article links are very much there. Now let's go to the next portion, and the next portion is how to interpret all these numbers. Okay, so I am going to again post this particular link shortly. Let's see if I can post this particular link shortly to you. I'll try to post this particular link for you later. This is where we are, and this is the Toronto Real Estate Board Market Watch, and every month it comes out with its detailed. I'm now referring you with the Toronto Real Estate Board Market Watch for August 2018. Let's go through it. You will see they have done it in two formats, and I'll discuss that with you later. Let's go fast on these ones. An 8.5% increase compared to August 2017. These are sales, reported sales. Detached home sales were up by double digits on a new year-over-year percentage basis, substantially more than many other less expensive home types. So that's what we are from all the information that from the various articles that we are going is detached one is the one which is going the maximum at the moment. It is encouraging to see a continued resurgence in the demand for ownership housing. So if we are trying to procure anything in this Toronto and GTA, will not be making a mistake. Ownership housing remains a solid long-term investment. Understand the word solid. It is it's a very, very good investment once if you're trying to procure that. Okay. Now, these are the numbers, and these are the numbers I had emailed you, and that is what they are. The detached property. Now, this number, if you go into the detail here, you will see in the 416 area, they were 4.9%. In the 905 area, it was 0.3%. And so the total is around 1.2%. Semi-detached again were 3.6%. It is in the 905 area because there are hardly any in the Toronto area left. Townhouses again in the 905 area, and the appreciation was around 3.2%. Condo apartment, both were within the Toronto, so that's what you are seeing, a tremendous boom in the condo industry with 8.3% in the 416 area and 5.9 in the 905 area, getting down to 6.4 on the total. So if you are trying to purchase, you're not going to make a mistake here. I will again email you this particular link. And now what I'm trying to see here is I've kept my eye on a $500,000 mark. And I'm trying to see if there are what exactly is going on. So I've picked up the one which is the maximum sale. So detached properties are going between 700 and 800, 481. So you can get some idea there. If you're trying to look for a property, detached property, they are between $700,000 and $800,000. If you are now looking for a semi-detached property, it is between 600 and 700. If you're looking for a townhouse, again, that's a freehold townhouse we are talking, and semi-detached again. Both of all these three ones are without maintenance fees. They are again between 600 and 700. The condo townhouses and the condo apartments, you can still find between 400 and 500. So that is what it is, the same format. And now this information was only for the month of August, and the same I am seeing trend for year to date. So that means from the starting of the year till now, the same format is lying there. Okay, then I'll once I email you, you can go through it, and I'm just trying to find out if by chance are there any properties in the $500,000 range, because that's a comfortable range where with the incomes that we are having, we can go with. If you had a 100K income, you should be able to procure a property up to $500,000. Condo 4 times the income, that's 400, and freehold up to 5 times the income, so up to $500,000. But before you even start, I mean, it was important for us to check it out whether there are any properties in this price range or not. So I mean, these are the areas where you still have some properties. In the York region, you have in Georgina. In the Durham region, you have Brox, Clarington, Oshawa, and you have these are the median prices. In the Dufferin County, you have in the Orangeville area, and in the Simcoe County, you have Essa, Innisfil, and New Texima. So there are some properties there. And again, same thing. Now, in the city of Toronto, do we have anything in the $500,000 range? So that is why I went through this particular format just to look for it. Yes, in the West Toronto, 2 pockets are there where we can find something in the $500,000 range. Again, in the Central Toronto, there is 1 pocket that we can find. And again, in the East Scarborough, Toronto East, there are some properties which are in that particular price range. So this is like just an exercise to show you that first of all, it pays to own. I'm making a detailed walkthrough on those particular one, and then by going through this market watch of the Toronto Real Estate Board, we are trying to see if there is some properties available in that price range. Home transaction, again, we are going through the same format, and I mean, I've gone through all of them, and in depth what I could figure it out is, yes, there are properties which are there in this particular price range. I'll email you this and the highlighted ones so you can have a look at it, but I mean, there are some which are there. Then we can go into the semi-detached houses. Then we had condominium townhouses, and all of them, whichever areas they were. So this will be a very good read to go through. Like, okay, if you're looking in a certain area, you can go through it and see if some of the properties are available in your price range. So that is what I was intending with this particular when I picked up on this particular one. Okay, so once we have gone through this, let me see. Now next is I am going to go short on my next. So we've covered it pays to own, and our now next agenda is a live interview with credit repair expert. And before I bring him on board, I just needed to walk you through 2 things, and that is what I'm going to do. Okay, so just let me reiterate that we have covered the it pays to own, and the next one is the credit repair. So I am now going to take you to the next slide. Okay, this is the important slide which I have explained in my previous webinar. I'll be very fast on this particular slide. Real estate challenges. Now, the reason I am reiterating that one is there are 4 points that we want you to be very, very careful about when you're trying to purchase. So this is like, what are you getting into? And there are 4 challenges for buying. The first challenge is and way to go do your homework. That's what I am coming down to. So the first challenge is the credit score, and that is where we will be picking up the brains of our expert there. I'll be walking you through what are the challenges with credit score and how to go about it. I'll be very fast on that one before we can get him. The second challenge is the income challenge, and here, before I get into him, I will also ask him some questions on regarding the income. So whenever you're purchasing a property, credit score is a challenge, income is a challenge, and the third one is the down payment. And in our last webinars, I have explained you how we can help you out with the down payment format. I mean, walking you through and guiding you through, explaining you how we can bring it down with cashback format and things like that. So again, these are the three most important challenges. And on top of it, this is the biggest challenge lying there. By chance, even if we are able to overcome all these three hurdles, the next challenge starts is finding a property in that price range. So that is why I am almost correlating it to going way to the Mount Everest, and this is the base camp. So buying a property today is not an easy exercise. So we need to go through all these particular formats before we can come up with something. Now, I have just completed this particular part of yours, which says it pays to own. This is where I am coming to walk you through here a couple of things. One is you have to understand these challenges. If you by chance do not understand these challenges, it will be not easy to overcome the whole thing. So these were the 4 challenges, and I needed to make you through a thorough understanding what exactly are you getting into. And my main emphasis here is do your homework. Now, when I say do your homework is, I just showed you a few articles. And in those particular articles, I walked you through. So this you can do it on your own. You can go to various sites, check your credit score. You know your income, you know your down payment, and then you talk to an expert. Once, even in the homework, the choosing of a real estate agent also comes into effect. You have to see a few things when you are choosing a realtor. You call 3-4 of them and see how comfortable you are in talking to them. How ease you feel. Are they explaining you your queries properly? Are they answering you properly? Do you feel comfortable working with them? Do you think they can handle your challenges? All those things will come into the shape there. So next step, you have to make sure whenever you are going and taking the services of a real estate agent, you may have to sign him up as your agent. You may also need a lawyer to see like what you are signing is proper or not. So you may need to have a lawyer in place too. So 2 things you should have, and you can take referrals, you can take guidance, you can discuss it out, but these are all the formats that do your homework. That is where all this particular things comes in between. Next is, and I cannot elaborate more on it, do not go and start going and seeing properties just right there and then. Do a mortgage application. Give all the documents to the mortgage broker. I've told you, it's like doing your homework, and it's like passing all those hurdles. Each of these particular things will make you save money. And I'll explain you with examples as we go along. Each and every step will make you save money. Provide him with all the documents. He needs a job letter. He needs T4s. he needs notice of assessment, he needs other documents, provide it to him. Make sure the entire application and the mortgage documents online, and meet him. Understand what is a fixed rate, what is a variable rate, how much if you are now, he will give you, you are qualified for this particular amount. He will also give you, this is the best rate that he can get it for you. Discuss with him whether should I go for fixed, whether should I go for variable rate, whether I can somehow get interest only. These, walk him through, ask questions before you indulge into the entire next chapter. Next comes mortgage pre-approval. Very, very important. You may think you are qualified for a certain amount based on your income, but then he will go through the details and tell you how much debt you have, how much liability you have, how much he can get it to you across. Those all things will formulate your pre-approval. Now, once you are done with this particular one, that is when you start the process of going and seeing properties, because now you have done your homework. You know the basic format of purchasing. Next important step, very important from my point of view, and that is be a prudent buyer. That is where I'll walk you through some of the steps that you need to do. Do not, from my point of view, go if you first of all narrow down a particular area in your price range. Then go and see 15-20 properties in that particular area. You will get, even if the properties that you are not liking, you are still able to understand what is the price of this property, what is the condition of this property, what is the area. Now, when you are looking in the same area, you have a very good idea. These are the price ranges, these are the conditions, this is what I'm going to indulge into. Because you may end up being in a multiple offer situation. So even if you have to overpay or underpay, you exactly know what you're doing. That's where the prudent buyer information will come in handy. And your mortgage approval is also going to help you out. If at the 11th hour you run into a multiple offer situation, all your papers works are there with the mortgage broker. He may be able to get you a very fast approval, and you may be able to remove the condition of financing. Once he's comfortable, you are comfortable, the real estate agent you're working with is comfortable, and you're in a situation that demands that. So there is a bigger and all of these small points, in the end, that's what I am highlighting here. It pays to own. But when you are owning a particular property, you have to do all these particular steps so that you save at each and every level. And in the end, they will accumulate. And that is when they will, I've already shown you some 3 or 4% appreciation per year is going on. By doing some more saving, you may be able to save another 1% or 2%, and you will suddenly find you have 5 or 6% appreciation in the first year. So those things are, that was the important on this particular one. Let's see. I'm going to go fast on this one, and that was the credit score analysis. This is where I had picked it up. The reason I'm explaining it to you and going very fast on this particular one is because we needed to get the expert there, and we need his expertise to walk us through. So before he starts explaining, we should be able to understand and comprehend that what exactly credit scores are and where we are and where we are going. We have this program under 3 formats. One is if your credit score is below 500, One is if your credit score is between 500 and 600, and the next one is above 600. Now, as far as I'm going to click a couple of things very fast here. If your credit score is below 500, this is the best one for rent to own program. Let's go through the next one because we had gone through this particular one in the last webinar, and so that I can get the expert online right away. This is what we are saying. If your credit score is between 501 and 600, we would prefer you to do the credit repair, because the rent to own program is a minimum 1-year program, and this one we may be able to even procure a property for you within maybe 6 months or more, less. And in case if your credit score is above 600, the mortgage brokers can get a mortgage for you these days. There are some lenders there, and they should be able to get you there. Okay, so that was the brief on this one, and let me see if I can get the expert there, and I'll keep on trying him and see if I can explain you something else in the meantime. Okay, let's see if I can. I'm trying to call him up. Okay, it seems we are missing out on him again. His Skype information has fallen down. Okay, so I think so. I'll see if I can get him again on Skype, but it seems I am running into a problem with his Skype. Okay, so let's continue with give me one moment here. I'll keep on trying and then get you on the next slide so that I can then explain. Yes, I think so. I managed to get something ringing. Let's see if that's the case. Let's give it a few more minutes, and then I'll see where things are. Okay, it seems we are having some Hi Faisal.
Sir, I'm can you call me one more time, because I think your Skype is not accepting me.
Yes, I know. Okay, I'm calling you now. I'm calling you now. Bye. Just bear with us. I'm trying to get him on Skype, and yes, sir.
Your Skype is not accepting for some reason. I just called Richard and it works. But anyways.
Okay, so hold on. So don't go anywhere. I am calling you again. Try to accept. This. Okay, let's go there. Wonderful. So we have you here. Let me share the screen for a moment. And you're looking awesome. Are you able to share my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Wonderful. Give me 1 minute. I will get you on board, and we will then take it from there. Perfect. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Finally, in the chat, in case if anyone can give us one that it's all working fine, we'll greatly appreciate, because we have constantly run into this particular problem to an extent that I think so. Instead of 3 times the charm, the 4th one is a charm now. Okay, Faisal, before I get you into the detail of it, let me get you to an article. Let me get someone in there. So before I start this one, I will ask you a simple question. So let's see if someone can update us, like if things are going okay. And once they give us okay, then we'll go through the credit repair. In the down payment, whenever I have been explaining this hurdles to all of them, people come and say like, okay, we have the income. But sometimes they miss one small part of it. That income is coming with a baggage. They have debt. And I mean, I've told them on the basis of your income, you can do 5 times your income for a freehold, 4 times the income for a condo. And with maintenance, we may have some room there, but I'm trying to keep things on a simplified version. Now, how do you address, is there possibility to, some people have always asked, like, can the debt be consolidated in some form or the other?
A quick answer is yes.
Okay.
Now,
That takes a lot of anxiety out of the equation. Yes, wonderful. Go ahead. Good to hear.
there are some challenges around that piece, but I'll quickly run through. I'll quickly run through something very, very easy. One is if their income is there and I can control it, and their credit scores are okay, I can console it.
Again, so if their income is there and
If their income is there and their credit scores are not damaged, I can console it.
okay, good to know. So income is there and credit is not tremendously damaged.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I can console it. However, what happens
Again, is not coming. Faisal, if you can talk more closer to the microphone.
Okay. I'll keep myself very close to the microphone. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. I mean, like my setup is with the audio inside, so I think so I can. Yes.
Okay. So this is what happens, and if you want, I can. Yeah. So income, if income is there and the credits are not so damaged, we can consolidate. The issue comes in where the credit has had some late payments.
Credit has had late payments. Okay.
Okay, so let's say if there is, for instance, 2 credit cards and a line of credit, and last month or the month before, the credit card was not paid on time.
Okay.
That makes it challenging to make it consolidated. Now, another thing.
Again, just go slow on this particular part. Again, can you just explain me again this particular part, last part?
So, if there are late payments.
Okay, late payments. Okay.
It makes it challenging.
Late payments makes it challenging. Okay. Okay.
Number two is if you're looking for a better rate to consolidate, that makes it even more challenging.
Better rates makes it more difficult. Okay.
Okay, let me explain you.
Yes.
So let's say the client has a credit card where they have a special of 4.99.
Okay.
Okay, but the consolidation loan is at 9.99.
Okay. Almost double. Almost, so 5% and now it is 10%. Double almost. Okay.
Okay, however, consolidation loan, the monthly payment is smaller.
Interesting. Consolidation loan, the monthly payment is lower. Okay.
Yes.
Because it has gone. Is the time frame increased or what?
Yes, the time frame is stretched.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so what it does is, yes, the client pays a little bit more in interest. However,
It is same as the amortization was from 25 to 35 years.
exactly.
And your per month goes down. Okay. So you get the consolidation, but your time is increased. Okay. And the amounts become smaller. But obviously you pay more because you are now taking that money from. So how much is the number of years we are talking here for consolidation loan?
Depends. Sometimes it is 5 years. Sometimes it is 10 years. Most times it is 5.
Okay. So basically, and they are consolidated and they then are able to get that mortgage
Yeah.
because now the numbers, they must be paying higher interest rate on these credit cards and things like that. And now their interest rate has gone down and even the payment number of years have gone up.
So not necessarily interest rate goes down, but the payment goes down, and therefore they can buy a property this year versus next year.
Oh, so interest rate doesn't go down, you mean to say?
And, not necessarily.
Okay.
Sometimes it does, but most times no.
But I mean, how much do they pay generally on a credit card? I mean, like if they have some outstanding on the credit card, what's the general norm for credit cards?
So usually CMHC has started to use 2% of the balance as the monthly payment. Now, if the client is making only $50 payment on a $5,000 credit card, just because they have a promotion, that is not taken into account.
Okay. My question was, what are the general rates that you see on credit cards?
I usually see somewhere in the neighborhood of 9 to 14-15%.
Okay.
Most of them are 19, but the ones that are carrying balances
Mm-hmm.
are between 9 and 15-16%.
Okay. Now, my question to you here is, when you consolidate, what are the rates we are talking in there?
It depends, but I have seen 11-12% to 14-15-16%, depends on many different items.
So, in more or less, you would say it remains on the same format or it slightly goes down when you consolidate?
It remains almost the same.
The only difference is it remains the same, but the number of years increase, so the per month amount comes down. Is that what we're?
Yes, and therefore the person qualifies for a mortgage.
Okay, and okay,
before they were not able to qualify.
And now that's making sense. Okay, now the other thing here is like they may be having some 3-4 different credit cards. Now all of this amount is at one place. Is that also right?
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. And is there any limitation on collect up to this amount only you can consolidate? I mean, more than that they are not going.
Technically, there is no limit.
Okay.
However, the smaller the number, the faster the approval, less the conditions, so on. So, I mean, to answer your question, no, there is no limit.
No limit. But what is the? I mean, like, see, sometimes people have called and asked me they have $45,000 as debt, $50,000 as debt. Is that number that can be handled or no?
It can be handled. Yes, it can be handled. The income has to be there to be handled. That's the one big item that sort of makes it challenging.
Okay, let me ask you a simple thing. They say income is 100,000. So we are telling them you get approved up to $500,000, and now their debt is close to 50,000. So what will their approval be?
See, it's a scenario to scenario based.
Okay.
But the general rule of thumb I see is every $500 payment on a credit card reduces 100,000 mortgage money.
Okay, you go again slow and just repeat it out for me so I can comprehend.
Yeah. So let's just say 100,000 is the income.
Okay.
We can qualify at $500,000.
Okay.
But their monthly debt payment is $500.
Okay.
Okay, they're paying $500
For every $100,000. Understood. Yes. Yes.
Now they qualify for 4, not 5.
Okay. So because they had that 50K, so now that has been reduced from $500,000 to $400,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So basically, if you have debt, approximately, we are giving you some rough estimates, and it will go accordingly. Okay. I think so. I have been able to increase some of your volume on Skype here. So if someone can again tell me if it is coming okay, then we can go to the interview, because I don't want to get that one started if we are still having Skype issues. So let me wait it out for a few more seconds, and as soon as someone get an update, we'll start with the credit repair. But I think so today we may be almost with the time frame today. We may be running out of it, so probably for next time we may go for credit repair. But the bottom line with the consolidation is it is a possibility.
Exactly.
It is not out of the realm of the equation. Like, okay, nothing can be. I mean, if you have you done a few of them?
Yeah, I've done over 10 of them.
Oh, okay. And what has been the experience for whenever you're consolidating them? I mean, are the people happy? Are the people comfortable?
From interest rate perspective, they're not very happy.
Okay, why do you say that? Because they were paying interest anyway earlier. Why are they not happy now?
It's just that their expectation is when it's a new loan and it's for a longer period, it should be less interest.
Oh, okay. So the interest doesn't go down. It is only the number of years. So
Yes.
Okay. Now, have you been able to add that loan into the mortgage?
Yes, I have.
Really? It can be done?
Yeah.
Because see, when you add that whole thing into the mortgage, now the equation becomes 25 years.
Yeah. So there are I want to say 3 different institutions that allow me to have a cashback mortgage with a 5% down.
Okay. So from that cash back, you're even paying off the debt.
Exactly.
So they may not even have a debt if it's a possibility. Oh,
It's a possibility.
oh, interesting. So it is not out of the equation. If you have debt, there is a possibility of consolidating it. And consolidation is very different from the consumer proposal, just to be elaborate.
Exactly. Big difference. It's completely different.
These are two different products. Is that right?
Yes.
And so, because see, whenever we talk of the term consolidation, we always think like, okay, we are going into consumer proposal.
No,
There is nothing of that sort here.
absolutely not.
And how do banks look at it? I mean, how do banks look at this particular debt? I mean, if you're consolidating, do they look at it differently, or how do they look at it?
See, however a bank wants to look at it, at the end of the day, buying a property is a numbers game.
Wonderful. Yes, it is, and I mean that is where it is. Yeah, that's where the whole buck stops.
Exactly. So
Wonderful.
if numbers work, you have a mortgage.
Oh, okay. So it's not a much there to say, because if you qualify, you qualify, and the lenders would have gone through all those numbers anyway.
However, one thing that does sets, I guess, a mortgage broker apart from a banker is we package the deal and we explain things in a very different sense that helps, that sort of gives a little bit of a push to the bank.
Okay. I think we have lost you on Skype at perfect 8 o'clock. At perfect 8 o'clock, I thought we have lost you. Yours,
I was just checking my phone.
yes, your Skype just said 8 o'clock. We need to close the webinar. So, okay. When we are on this one, just my thing here is like, okay, if you were able to consolidate that loan in the mortgage, the payment and payment scenario will fall drastically below.
You are either you are breaking up, or is it my internet?
No, it
connection?
is it is the Skype which is telling us it is 8 o'clock. We need to close down. Okay.
Well, we can continue.
Yes, we will, because yeah, I really appreciate you coming on board and giving your expertise there, because see, no property can be put together without an expert financing format to it.
Well,
And
an expert realtor.
yes, that is true too. And so wonderful. I hope we were able to give our viewers something for tonight. And I think so. Next week is a long weekend, so we'll keep it off for next week, and we'll be meeting the following Monday. And we are then going to solve your Skype issues and the audio issues, and also will take up into the entire rent to own program. So thank you again for
Thank you
joining.
again.
Okay, and
Thank you,
we
sir.
will thank you very much for coming on board.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Okay, so we will call it a day today, and we are off for next week because it's a long weekend, and I will see you on the following Monday. So we'll not be there for the 8th of October, and we will be there again for 15th of October from 7 to 8 p.m. Thank you again for joining us tonight. And I think so we went, my monologue went a wee bit too much to cover all the things that we could cover today. But we are reaching there, and within a webinar or 2 more webinars, we'll be able to completely walk you through all this particular one. The information is already there on the websites, and I'm taking the opportunity to go slow and walk you through the details, how this challenge can be overcome, provided you get the right team, provided you understand what you're getting into, and provided you make an effort. We will reach there. Me and mortgage expert Faisal Garcia will be able to take your quell most of your queries and give you a very nice walkthrough and simplified things as we are here the same format we repeat in our real estate transaction and business. Feel free to call me, feel free to email me. Any questions, any queries, we are here to answer you, and we will get addressed. Anytime you can come on board and write your questions there, we'll try to get them addressed. Thank you again for joining. Good night for now, and let's call it a day.